Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. What if I told you your voice isn't just meant to be heard, but felt? There's a fire in your story, a truth the world needs, but too many are still whispering when they were born to resonate. I'm Brad Walsh, and I created a free masterclass called Empower Your Voice, 5 Secrets to Becoming an In-Demand Podcast Guest, because I believe your voice deserves a stage. If you're ready to speak with power, purpose, and presence, it's time to own your truth, be heard, and be unforgettable. Click the link in the show notes to sign up now. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest is Karla Elizondo. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist, a mindset coach that uses multiple modalities in her work. She's also a principal teacher and global certified coach for the Napoleon Hill Institute. Welcome, Karla. I am so honored and excited to have you here. I cannot wait to jump in and share about all the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do, your story, your journey. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Oh my goodness. The pleasure is mine. Thank you so much, Brad. I feel honored. You had a lot of amazing women here, and I think it's great to highlight. And what a niche. I love it.
Thank you. With that being said, let us jump right in. Now, your journey, Karla, is a fusion of therapy, mindset mastery, legacy leadership. Who were you before those titles, and how did that woman evolve into the powerhouse that you are today?
My goodness. I'm sure this is the best question ever. Who was I before? I just turned 42 years young. And so before that, I was a student, a seeker, probably like many people that listen to this podcast, and just, I would say drifting. Napoleon Hill uses that word, drifting, or we're leading in our life. And I was definitely drifting. I didn't understand the power that I had, that we all have. And I just didn't know any better. I just didn't know. I didn't get it. I didn't get life. I felt really lost. I suffered with massive anxiety. I had bouts of depression. I used alcohol to cope. And I was a creative person. I'm always a creative person. We're all creative people, but I really wanted to express it in the form of media. I love teaching. I love performing. So I did a little bit of everything. I was just a seeker on the path, bobbling around, drifting and lost, but always searching and seeking. And it's just a journey of forgiveness and of finding yourself ever. And it never ends. It's always a new iteration of yourself. So I would say that.
We're constantly evolving and growing. We're human beings. So that process and that work never ends. It never stops.
It never does.
So I want to start and dive into your work as a therapist. Now, was there a defining moment for you, either breakdown or breakthrough, that lit the fire under your mission and you to help others transform their minds and relationships?
Yeah. I would say I've always been a natural therapist. I'm a middle child, and I've always been the person that people go to. But also I think we're all given gifts. I'm a good listener and all that jazz, but what really put it over the edge and made me want to go back and continue my education and get my master's degree and officially go into therapy was around 33 years old after a big life change. It was really the only big relationship I had until that time. Big heartbreak. Of course, I had heartbreaks before, and it's always a catalyst into change, into growth. But this one was different because I think people can relate, because I always say there's 3 types of betrayal, right? We betray other people. We're not honest with ourselves, and that's painful. When we know we've betrayed someone, we're not honest. Another whomper is when you get betrayed, when someone betrays you, they lie to you. But the biggest pain, Brad, is when you betray yourself. That is the most painful thing. And I think at that point in my life, it was not the betrayal of the relationship or the person. At that point, I could care less. It was the betrayal of myself, that I was not listening to my inner voice. I was not listening to my intuition. And I was like, screw this. And I had at that point knew that drinking was a problem. Like I've always known it was a problem for me. And I was just in so much pain. And I was at a
Mhm.
crossroads in my life. And I said, I'm already really interested in psychology, into personal development. I'm my therapist for everyone in my life anyway. I might as well get paid for it. And so it was just a journey of education and transformation for myself. That was the big catalyst.
Yeah. And so, how have your personal experiences with love, family, or hardship shaped the way you serve as a therapist and a leader today?
Yeah. Oh, how it's shaped it, accepting people. Like, I know all of these things are cliche, and I'm not going to say anything that no one has ever heard before, and nothing's new under the sun, but we can't hear it enough. And things are
Mhm.
cliche. Things are for a reason because they're repeated over time and they never get old. They're timeless. But understanding human behavior through relationships, it's the only
Mhm.
way we can do it. We're not
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
And just being self-aware and taking responsibility, taking accountability, just having compassion and understanding, not that we have to be okay with how people are or accept certain treatment, but just understanding, getting knowledge around self-awareness of ourselves first. And
Mhm.
then, because we always love to be self-aware about other people. It's so easy to point out other
Yeah.
people's
Oh, yes.
turn the mirror on ourselves. That's not fun.
Mhm.
But
No.
so I would say what's shaped me is awareness of self first, and then
Mhm.
understanding other people, having compassion,
Mhm.
understanding, forgiveness, letting go, just doing that inner work.
Those are huge. The compassion, the understanding, and
Yeah.
being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And also, I think, which I think this ties into having conversations with people as well as that curiosity piece is
Yeah.
how did you arrive at your belief? Like, why do you think that way? Or what's your thought process? How did you get there? How did you arrive there? And
Yeah.
why do you think this way?
It's like we get so, how do you think this way? It's like, do we ever question ourselves?
Yeah,
It's like we don't
exactly.
because we're perfect and we're right.
Yeah.
Even if someone has absolutely opposite beliefs than you that put
Mhm.
your veins on fire, they, in their world, they're right and they're
Yes.
justified and they can be
Mhm.
good people. Maybe not to you, but it's just like one of those things
Yeah.
that's like, come on, it's so easy to judge people and so easy to be angry and disagree, but it's like it takes someone of real stamina to have an open mind. Again, you don't have to have lunch with
Oh,
them or like them or be friends with them, but come on, we can do better.
yes, absolutely. And I think we all need to do better in this world with all the shit that's going on in the world today. I think we all do need to do better and work on ourselves.
Yeah, it's always the answer. Always look in the mirror, no matter how mad you are, no matter how if someone is being a real right jerk, you being dysregulated and matching jerk energy is just polluting the system that's already messed up, and you're contributing to it. Myself.
Absolutely.
I talk about myself, right? It's me.
Yeah. So you help people navigate some of the most intimate emotional landscapes in their lives, marriage, family. What do you think we get fundamentally wrong about love and connection in today's world?
Kind of what we were talking about.
Mm,
We are all connected, and we don't want to hear that. There's the whole in the spiritual realm of oneness. Oh, let's have
mhm.
oneness, world peace. Where it's like we don't want that. You don't want that. Excuse me, no, you don't. And when we realize that, and I'm not being
Mhm,
facetious or like grim, but
mhm,
think about the people, the groups, the opinions that it just causes you pain.
mhm,
Are you willing to completely love and accept them? Yes or no? Am
mhm.
I willing to love fully this person and wash their feet to get biblical? I ain't really being biblical, but like seriously, it's like we can talk a good game.
Yeah.
And I love that because we're trying to do our best, right? It's not to shame or
Mhm,
blame ourselves, but it is not easy to have oneness, to have wholeness, to have world peace. Do we really want world peace? And then you're judging the poo out of everyone in your head.
mhm,
Come on, it starts with us. And
mhm,
so, family systems and just systems in general in relationships is, am I willing to see my part? Am I willing? Because I think I've heard, and I don't know the actual terminology, but like the aspen trees, like tree systems, they're all connected to the same root system. Like every
right.
single person on this planet, we're connected to the same root system, whether you
Mhm.
like it or not. And
Yeah.
it's like what we think affects that. It's like energy's real and there's no time and space. And what you think of someone is put out and it affects you first and
Yeah.
foremost, really. And just that we're all connected and we have to take responsibility. If there's disease or virus in the roots, you're like,
Mhm.
they're doing it. It's like your thoughts about blaming them is doing it. Let's just
Yeah.
put it that way. It's like full accountability and radical
Mhm.
responsibility for
Yes.
keeping our side of the street clean.
Absolutely. What we put out into the universe comes back to us tenfold, whether that's good, negative, whatever it is, it's going to come back to you. So try, I know it's a lot easier said than done. And I think it takes practice and a lot of work to be able to step into that mindset and accept the responsibility. As you said, radical responsibility, self-accountability, all of those things, but it's necessary in order for your inner peace, because it all starts here with us. We are the foundation for everything.
Every day you got to recommit. It's like sobriety. It's like an addict. It's every day. It's like you don't make just one decision back when you were 21 and you went to a great seminar. It's every day you recommit. Every day. Today I will be sober of mind. Today I will be compassionate. Today I will understand. Whatever comes up today, I will forgive and release and do the work. It's like it's a daily process, sometimes minute to minute.
What is one truth about family systems that more people need to hear, even if it's uncomfortable?
Kind of just diving deeper into what we were just saying. It's always you. It's always you. It's like when I was in my practicum to get my licensure, I worked with kids. I worked with children 4 to 12. But really, I'm not working with the kids. I'm working with the parents. And the kids are misbehaving. They have issues. They have disruptive behavior. They're upset. They're whatever. Not whatever. But and the parents are like, what's wrong with my kid? I'm like, there is nothing wrong. There's nothing. You the problem. It's you. It's you. God bless my sister if she ever listens to this, but I laugh all she goes, we really need to think about blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's you. Your kid doesn't have a problem paying attention. Your kid doesn't have a problem. It's you. For example, if you are in chaos all the time and you're an anxious mess and you're wondering why your kid is disengaged, it's like your children are little reflections of you.
Yes.
So I knew the moment and I got this quick, but also I went through this experience older in life and a little wiser. So when I dealt with kids, I knew who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with their parents and their programs, and they are just walking little open subconscious computers that are just regurgitating what their parents teach them. So the hard truth that people need to understand is that you are programmed and you program. And it is so impersonal, just kind of like you said, what you put out in the universe. It's not even woo or like mystical. It's just very objective and very black and white, and it's impersonal. We are programmed, and you are programming people, and you have been programmed.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, that accountability piece, what part does that play in healing a relationship, and why is it most often the avoided piece of things of the relationship?
Yeah. Of course we avoid it, first of all. And I know you know this, but it's like, I don't want to. It's your fault. You're the problem. I'm perfect. And if you can just, didn't you read the rule book of Karla?
Yeah.
Ding dong. If you could just behave, Brad, if everybody could just behave, the world would be fine. When these stupid idiots can get their food together, it's like that is so wrong. And so personal accountability, how important is it? It's everything. If you don't have that, and it is very confronting and is not easy in the world of psychology, in the world of personal development, in the world of therapy and all that, it's like, and you know how like influencers say, and it cracks me up, unpopular opinion. People might, like, unpopular opinion, you're the problem. You're the only solution and you're the only problem. And I say that to myself all the time. So absolute responsibility, that is the role we play. If we are not willing to see, even in the hardest of times, of even if someone is totally disrespecting you. I experienced this. Oh my goodness, like deep betrayal, deep hurt when someone disrespects me or somebody treats me in a way that I was like, I did not deserve that. It's like, what? Not that we're condoning it or making it okay, but like, what is this about? And I do that work. And again, I'll have a boundary. I might never talk to that person again. Right. I will come to a place of as much peace as I possibly can. And every situation's different. Just taking responsibility for your energy and for your emotions and for your thoughts. Keep it clean because it only affects people around you.
Yeah. Yeah. The other people don't know what's going through your head, and it's not going to affect them. You are the only one who is affected by that. Yeah. You are doing damage to yourself because you're the one that's suffering because of this constant mind game and the tailspin you're sending yourself into.
Yep. We're always doing it to ourselves. I'm a big student of A Course in Miracles, and it says you do this to yourself. You do this unto yourself, your pain. Yeah. Someone could be a right, ornery, bad person, and that's just how they behave. It's a pattern in them. Does it make it okay? No. Should we be normal and call the police if we need to? Absolutely. But we don't need to hold how evil and terrible they are in our mind, because It's just poisoning our system.
It is. It's not serving us. Least of all, it's not serving us. And that's what you should be most focused on is you.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Karla. So in your work, what would you say is one of the most common destroyers of connection in long-term relationships? And how can couples begin to repair that?
Yeah. Disengagement. I speak in metaphors and I just picture an ocean. You're with your partner and you both have your little inner tubes and you're holding hands and you're just floating through the life together. But you're like slowly, oh, my hand, and then you just start floating next to each other. And then little by little, you drift and drift and drift. And then you're like, there is this huge chasm and you guys are miles away. You can't even see your partner. I'm speaking metaphorically, emotionally.
Yeah.
So it's just disengagement. And how you remedy that is both people have to want to come together because it's not fair. if People split apart. And even if someone starts it, they started it, they let go first. It's okay. Both people have to want to come together because it's not fair for one person to swim the 2 miles and the other person be like,
I'll wait here.
Right? Like blaming the other person for it. It's like taking full accountability, even if said person started it or whatever, or life circumstance, and it was out of your control. Just reconnecting. Biggest problem, disengagement, emotional disengagement, not checking in. I love the work of, oh my goodness, John Gottman and his wife.
Okay.
And they just talk about, I believe it's their work that talks about bids of connection, like little things, like even when you're driving in the car, it's, oh my gosh, did you see that? That's a bid for connection. It's, oh, what are you looking at? It's the effort and attention to be interested and curious in what the other person, because we are all, even subconsciously, if that person doesn't know it's a bid for attention, to look, to turn your head, to look in the eyes and be like, yeah, that was funny. What was so funny about it? And it's just engaged. It's effort. It takes effort to keep that connection in a relationship because you're new people every single day. And even further, I'm sure we'll talk about, but like disengagement, and then both people have to acknowledge that there is this big chasm or distance and agree to come together and start repairing it, start coming back together and connecting.
I'm curious though about the piece this in terms of, because we all grow at different rates. Yeah. So some look at a couple and say the wife is far more advanced spiritually or on a different path and the husband is behind. How do you bridge that gap when you're not vibrating on the same frequency? How do you get back to that?
Okay, so picture a building, right? Picture a building, and you are on different floors, like different vibrations. That's how I describe it. Every floor is a frequency.
Yeah.
And you might be on frequency 7 and your partner's on frequency 3. You guys are on different floors.
Yeah.
So how do you close that gap? Whoever is higher consciousness, or you figure here and you have standards, and say, for example, I'm not going to gossip anymore. I am going to not watch such violent things. I'm not going to binge watch Netflix all night anymore. This person's like, I'm doing it. First of all, you don't judge and you accept where they're at and they accept where you're at. There's no judgment. You guys accept each other. And this person never goes down to meet this person or they'll resent them. This person, you said the door's always open. You can come up to 7 if you want.
Yeah.
And they'll slowly meet. But there are people all the time that are in different frequencies in their growth. And they learn from each other and they have compassion, and you just accept people for where they're at and you love them. You love them. I did this when I was younger in my 20s and I was doing all my personal development and going to my seminars and lectures. Of course, I judged the crap out of everybody who wasn't like, oh, yo. It's like, nobody cares, Karla. I'm not better. And it doesn't mean you're better just because you're on a different floor.
Not at all.
You're better than anybody. It's just you are on a different path and you love people. It's like, you like purple? You like what? Brown. It's fabulous. Accept people for who they are. And if there's a big enough chasm, and that's usually the problem, is, come on, why can't you come up here? Why don't you think you're better than everybody? It's, then forget it. It's like, it's only a matter of time before that relationship falls apart.
Yeah. I love that building analogy. Thank you for sharing that, Karla. I love that. What does true intimacy actually look like beyond the romance and the ritual and all of that, in your opinion?
Yeah. Kind of what we were just talking about is we continue to grow, evolve, and change. Hopefully. We're always growing.
Yes.
But it's constantly showing our new self to our partner, right? It's like we can meet someone in our 20s or in our 30s or even in high school, and we do all that hard work of being embarrassed and showing ourselves and getting comfortable in a relationship. When we get married and we think, okay, I did that. That was, no. It's every year. It's
Mhm.
every month. It's being vulnerable to share how much you've changed, or if your thought systems have changed, or if you're not comfortable anymore with a certain routine in your marriage or in your relationship. And you're like, but we've done this. Oh my God. Like, I don't want to go and spend our holidays with family anymore, mine or yours. I want to go on vacation. I'm afraid that my partner, because our values were so family oriented and I once was there, but I don't feel that anymore because I really want to have a different lifestyle. Being willing to expose your inner world and be naked in front of your partner, right? It's like, I already was naked. I already got married. I already did that. It's like, no, you have to do it at every step. The moment you feel a shift in yourself, say, hey, I felt this shift, and have those deep conversations and say, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about me switching careers, or just not hiding what's going on in your inner world? And it's always
But what about if someone is not spiritually attuned? If we're talking about spirituality and different vibrating on different frequencies and all, what if the other partner's not attuned to all of that?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah. It's case by case basis, but if like somebody was super on their journey of consciousness and expansion and they went to their partner and their partner's like looking at them like,
you're nuts. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're nuts. You need to, then you get your answer right there. That person's unwilling to accept you for where you're at. So it always goes back to, are you willing to let your loved one expand and grow, even when it's scary? Because it is.
Yeah.
You're not going to like when your partner tells you that they want to liquidate their 401k and travel around the world and get a RV. Have you lost your mind? If your partner's being vulnerable and telling you this, listen, and it might be uncomfortable. And so meet in the middle and just really talk it through. But if, like you said, they're on a different level and they're not accepting, then it's over. It's sad to say, and it's not sad to say. I know a lot of people, especially in the personal development world, I know you probably do too. Not a lot of relationships survive that because one partner is unwilling to grow or accept the person. I even had a client one time that their wife ripped down his like vision board and was like, you're ridiculous.
Wow.
So it's like crushing their dreams because they feel uncomfortable. Oh my God, my partner's changing and I don't believe in this, but let them be who they'll be. And just, it goes back to understanding and compassion, because people only react and fear and freak out when they feel unsafe and there's change. And it's just like, how willing are we to let people evolve and grow?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing that. Now, as a therapist, obviously you take on or listen to a lot of trauma, heartache, pain, all of these things. How do you do that without absorbing their pain, taking it home with you afterwards? And how have you learned to protect your own heart and space and energy in that process?
I would say everybody's listening. Everybody's a therapist in their own right. We all listen. We all have loved ones. We all have relationships. We just do it for a living with people that aren't my family and friends. But what I learned, again, I'm so grateful that I started this journey old, because if I was younger, oh my God, I don't even want to know how I would have protected myself, because I just didn't know. You're ignorant to it. But what I've learned is it's not my responsibility to change this person. All I am is a vessel. All I am is a mirror to listen, a soundboard. I do not take on or try to fix or have solutions or even give advice. Yeah, there's times where I will have suggestions or talk through, but every client is the expert of their life. Not me, not because I have degrees on the wall or whatever. No, it is just really these degrees are degrees that I've earned by learning about myself so that I can show other people how to learn about themselves. And so I love that analogy of I'm the faucet, I'm not the water. I'm the lamp, I'm not the light. I'm not doing anything. Truly, when you surrender and you're like, I am not oh my God, you're so amazing, Karla. No, it's not me. It's simply by holding space for someone to listen. There is no greater gift you can give someone. And so I encourage everybody, whether you're a therapist or not, it's like, listen to a friend or a family member or whatever, and just listen. And just nod, active listening, and don't say a thing. There's nothing more healing than that.
We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, as a friend of mine always said. Use these more than you use this, because and really, when it comes down to it, at the end of it, people just want to be seen and heard. That's it. And that's not asking a lot of people. Just listen. Just listen to someone.
Yeah.
That
you want to be helpful.
You don't have, yes, of course. You don't have to respond.
Yeah.
You can just sit there in silence and listen to that person because maybe that's all they want.
Exactly.
Not everyone wants your opinion or wants your 2 cents.
Exactly. And I remember we were in a room, like we were on like a little break or something, and there was like 3 therapists. We were sitting there and somebody was like talking about something that was going on in their life. And of course, there was like 3 therapists just listening. And then somebody goes, would you like feedback or do you just want us to listen? And she's, I just want you to listen. And we just,
There
so
you
like
go.
maybe check in and say,
Yeah.
did you want to talk about it or did you just want me to listen?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, it's so great.
That's a very powerful question.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so I want to shift gears here now and talk a little bit about your mindset work. As a mindset coach, what's one belief that you personally had to unlearn in order to become the woman you are now?
Unlearn. I would say, wow, I don't know. Unlearn.
Or rewire, if you want to use that word.
Rewire. I guess, yeah, you know what? It's like, again, we're programmed. I don't remember ever studying or making a decision as a child to believe what I believed. It was just passed on to me that poverty is virtuous, or that being quiet and meek and makes you a better person. Don't be too much. Just the whole thing of like, when you shrink yourself, you're a classy lady. It's like, just, yeah, poverty is virtuous.
I think that shrink yourself thing is a very common program that has been programmed into women, into girls, as young girls. Yeah. Just sit there and look pretty. Don't be too loud. Don't be too this. Don't be too that. Just sit there and look pretty, kind of thing.
Absolutely. And I still find myself, it's like, it's in there. And I judge myself mostly. And I find myself having moments of, tone it down, girl. And I'm like, Karla, I'm honest. It's just like, it's in there. It's in there. And every moment is an opportunity to see it differently and say, what just came up in you that you're judging this person or this woman for how she's gesturing or how she's talking or her tone or her volume? What is it in you, Karla, again, taking responsibility? What part of you is activated? And then sometimes it's just, I prefer this. Or it's like not feeling guilty about my preferences. Because if I don't prefer, it's like loud music. If you like heavy metal, it's like, in certain cultures, right? It's programmed into us. And it's not to delete our preferences or what makes us feel comfortable or our cultural. It's like some cultures speak really loud. And it's like, oh my God, okay, calm down. It's like, maybe it's just a preference and that's okay. Don't feel guilty about it. But yeah, you're right. It's definitely programmed into us and I see it every day.
For sure. So, Karla, where do you see most people self-sabotaging? Not because they don't want more, but because they've become addicted to their limitations. They become addicted to that victim mode, that victim mentality.
Yeah, I feel like I'm giving the same answer to all your questions, but it's the best thing ever. We self-sabotage unconsciously. Nobody does it. Like, we do know when we love the bad boy and we just sabotage. We're addicted to the drama, but it's more unconscious with every thought. It's like, we truly are addicted, chemically addicted to thought patterns, stories, and narratives. It's like, I personally dealt with a physical addiction with alcohol. Maybe somebody listening is dealing with food addiction, cigarettes, nicotine, vape, alcohol, pornography, whatever. But it's like, even if you don't, you're like, I'm not an addictive person. Fine, you don't have a physical addiction. But our bodies truly are programmed to, we think our mind thinks a thought and then our brain triggers the wires and fires. And then we bathe ourselves in chemicals, in our things that bathe our body. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Neurotransmitters truly bathe our body in chemicals. Okay. And we get addicted to those chemicals unknowingly. And it's just like a crack addict or heroin addict. If we do not judge, if we do not feel righteous about something, we need our daily hit. And so I would say self-sabotage mostly comes in our minds. Everything starts in our minds. On those for example, this is something that I noticed, and this is just such a gift, but also such a pain in my butt of being so aware and like doing that. And there's times where I drift and I'm not very aware. But like something simple as I clicked on my Instagram story, and you know how there's like different stories of people up there and they have little lights and that makes a story. And I found myself looking at certain people and going, and I'm like, Karla, they're your friend. What is that about? Whoa. And that's a self-sabotage of me, again, poisoning, even if that I think that person overshares or they are popping off about certain opinions that are very divisive. I'm like, if you don't prefer to see that on your feed, unfriend them, unfollow them. Like,
There you go.
take responsibility, but like, oh, I can't do that. They're going to be mad at me. It's like, Karla, what is this all about? What are you doing? It's a deeper inquiry in myself. So it's like catching the little micro emotions that come up and notice, does this feel triggering? Do I feel judgmental, critical, angry, bothered, frustrated? That is a trigger. That means it's just feedback. It's showing you it's not bad, because we're going to have them forever. But how can I have more peace around this? Does it mean an unfollow? Does it mean forgiveness? Does it mean checking in with them? Does it mean, what does it mean? And so I would say the biggest sabotage is in our own minds, with our own thoughts and our own judgments, grievances, grudges, all that stuff.
The self-awareness, though, holy shit. That's, wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible. It is, absolutely. We are our own biggest hurdles. We get in our way all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the truth.
What is a belief system you once taught or endorsed that no longer aligns with your truth today? And what changed that?
You know what? Oh, God. I don't even know. Like I always say, I think everybody has radical thoughts that I don't even know if I'm like ready to share certain things. Like when I get older, maybe like when I'm 60 and 70, I'll be like that old lady who doesn't give a crap. People think I'm nuts, but
filter.
Yeah, no filter. But I guess I'll describe it this way. Like the relationship, like our experience that we were created here as human beings. This is wild. That God created this universe. That's something that shifted. I had vertigo, Brad. It was such a shift.
Wow.
Because again, I say I'm a student of A Course in Miracles, and it talks about this is all a dream. This is all an illusion. And this is a dual universe that we wanted to be separate from God. And that's why we're here. But God is oneness, and God is one, period. God is, period. And God has nothing to do. And that is so blasphemous. Not I believe in God, but that God has nothing to do with this shit show. Isn't that wild?
That is.
That's so radical. And it was a book called The Disappearance of the Universe. Be open-minded if you're... Forget that I ever said anything if that bothers you, because I know I've heard these things, and that I didn't hear that.
I love it. I love hearing I love hearing what people how they arrive at different things, and I love it. So thank you for sharing that. That is wild. That is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
What do most people misunderstand about their own emotional intelligence, and how can they course correct that?
Their own emotional intelligence. That just because I'm emotionally intelligent, I'll never get triggered. Or just because I'm emotionally intelligent, even if we think we're smart, intellectually intelligent, we have a high IQ, and then we get bamboozled, you're like, you big ding dong. Or like, how could you be so stupid? I thought I was an intelligent person. I got the wool pulled over my eyes. Same emotionally. I'm emotionally intelligent, or we think someone's emotionally intelligent and then they pop off and have a panic attack, or they yell at somebody. It doesn't matter how emotionally intelligent you are, you're human. So what most people get wrong is that emotionally intelligent people don't ever get angry, don't ever get triggered, don't ever pop off, don't ever express themselves passionately. That was something that I struggled with, even as a therapist, even as showing up on social media. Like I wasn't always on social media. I just got on it like during 2020. Like I was like, oh, but like that I have to be really, again, watered down, but like calm and cool. It's like, I felt so judgmental of myself for being expressive. I have an expressive face. I have big faces. So I was like, but I'm emotionally intelligent. I need to be calm and cool and level and even keel. There's times where I will be and there's times where I won't be. Am I going to allow myself to have a full human experience and be emotionally intelligent in the sense of being intelligent about my own emotions? It's not certain emotions, and it's not allowing some and denying others. And then reading the room, being intelligent of other people do not believe like me. What a shocker. People are different. No.
People have different beliefs.
Yeah. And just being intelligent about those.
Yeah. Being able to read the room. I love that.
Wow.
So I want to talk about your Napoleon Hill stuff, your world. Yeah. First of all, how did you even get involved in the Napoleon Hill Institute and in that world? How did that start for you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If you would have told me when I was younger, I was like, who the hell is Napoleon Hill? And what the heck? But honestly, the gateway in was Bob Proctor. He was
Okay.
an amazing teacher. And if Bob Proctor, he carried that book around, that tattered Think and Grow Rich book. He read every single day until the last day he was alive. And it's just fundamental principles. So everything he taught is based on Think and Grow Rich, basic. All of his programs are based on that, but he did it in his own way and just an amazing way. So I was a student of his. I even taught his programs and was a consultant with that company. I love him so much, and his legacy will live on forever. But that's how I got exposed to Think and Grow Rich. He had me read certain chapters on decision, on persistence, on auto-suggestion, which that book, if you're not familiar, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, is back, God, what was it, published? 1937. And there's just different principles to success. And they are just the old school, taking everything that works. I think it's like the 12-step program for getting your goals, to be honest. It's very biblical in the sense of just classic golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated, but it's very organized. It's an organized philosophy of success, and it never goes wrong. If you work it works if you work it. And I got exposed through Bob Proctor. And then when he passed in, I believe it was 2022, and things changed, and I decided to step away from that company because he was no longer there, and just on my own, right? Kind of drifting again. And there was a woman, her name is Cleona O'Hara, and she was also with that company and worked very closely with Bob. And she just was doing the work. And one day she just sat and she said, you know, what can we do? Where is this energy? Where was this spirit? And just Napoleon Hill dropped in her head. She goes, that's what Bob taught. That's what this is. What are they doing? What is the foundation doing? So she reached out to Don Green down at the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And there was actually a Napoleon Hill Institute that was established back in 1950. And it was a training program back in the 50s. Napoleon Hill did it with, why is his name totally escaped from my but they created this coaching, and it fizzled out, and it was just they closed its doors for different reasons. But Cleona was like, I want to buy this license, and I want to bring this coaching this philosophy and his principles back. And she did that. She started it unofficially in the fall. I think it was October of 2023. But the doors officially opened January 11th of 2024. So we just hit our, wait, was it 2020? No, 2022 October. And then 2023, she opened the door. So it just hit 2 years this past January. So that's how I got into that. I was, of course, attracted to it. And I love the principles and the philosophy. It's not like home. It felt like that spirit was back when Bob used to teach. And it's a family. It's a home. And those principles never go out of style.
Okay, so great segue. Speaking of principles, as a principal teacher and global certified, let me start over again. Speaking of the principles, if you could teach just one mindset principle from the Napoleon Hill legacy for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. Dude, okay. I want to say decision, because that is the principle that changed my life the most. But I would say maybe it's a toss-up between desire and decision, like having a burning desire and decision, because you have to make a decision to have a burning desire, but then nothing happens without a burning desire. Maybe burning desire. Honestly, it's like, are you living or are you not? Make a decision. What do you want? Burning desire, because you're dead if you don't have one. And I don't mean physically, emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically.
Okay. As a principal teacher and global certified coach for the Napoleon Hill Institute, how do you balance the weight of stewarding such a legendary legacy while carving out your own voice within that institution?
Yeah, and I'm so grateful for the mentorship that I received, especially through Bob. He said, make it your own. He goes, none of this is mine. None of this is mine. Make it your own. Get a deep connection with this material. Really learn, embody it, and express it in the way that you feel is best. And you will find your audience. People will resonate. So I remember there was a crossroads. I'm like, I did not resonate with the material. It was antiquated. I didn't get it. And I was like, but there's something here. I'm drawn. Bob loved it. I love Bob. I love all of his teachings. How can I make this mine? So I really dove into it, and it was through understanding what was being said, because Think and Grow Rich is not a book you read once. A lot of people say, oh, I
No.
read that. It's a book you study for the rest of your life. It literally says that on the first page. But we don't want to do that. We want to read 30 self-help books a month. But when you stick, and you can do that, but like when you stick with one principle and philosophy, it gets into you. It's the repetition. It's the mother of all learning. So how do I balance that? I make it my own. I continue to read it over and over and study it and teach it over and find new, because I'm changing. I remember Bob always used to say, why are you reading the same book? People used to tell him, why are you reading the same book for all these years? He goes, the book never changes. Yeah, the book never changes, but I do. We're always evolving and changing, hopefully. And so my eyeballs today, if I pick up the book, it is a brand new Karla that is reading this same old material, but I am a new person. And so I just grow with it. We've been talking about a theme, growing with it, continuing to learn, continuing to grow, and making it my own, Karlifying it, so to speak. And it's when we're afraid to do that, when we want to just regurgitate and rote the principles. It's no, especially I'm sure you have a lot of coaches, life coaches, therapists, women that want to help other people. Take a philosophy that you really believe in and just make it your own. How would you do it your way? People will resonate with your authenticity, and they will learn this material that they might otherwise have never looked into.
Absolutely. So how many times would you say, if you can remember, have you read Think and Grow Rich?
Over 100. I don't even know. Over 100. But the thing is that these chapters are different principles, and you can read them on their own. I remember I didn't read the whole book yet, but Bob's Karla, read the chapter on decision for 90 days straight. Every single day, read the whole chapter.
Wow.
So I got an accountability partner. We would get on the phone every morning at 6 a.m. and we would read back and forth and do pass, read it. And I did that with persistence and with auto suggestion. So those 3 chapters I've read hundreds of times, and the whole book, probably the full through, 3 times fully through, but each individual chapter multiple times.
Okay. And so Napoleon's work talks about desire, faith, and persistence. Just to name a few, which one has challenged you the most out of those 3, and which one comes most naturally to you?
Ooh, what was it? Desire, faith, and persistence?
And persistence.
Persistence comes naturally, the most natural, persistence. And then faith is probably the one I struggle with the most. I think it's probably what most people struggle. Believing. Yeah. When you continue to grow, it's when you are in front of your next Mount Everest. It's just like, having faith is believing in what you can't see. Having faith. I think that's what most people struggle with, because it's either faith or fear. And we're just addicted and bombarded with fear, and we're human and our brain's trying to protect ourselves. So faith is the most difficult.
And what has this role that you have now with the Napoleon Institute taught you about power, presence, and patience, especially as a woman in an institution built on performance and persistence?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so blessed that I got into the company when it was new, and it's still new. And just learning how to grow and build that, and patience, and trusting the process that this material is timeless. And it works, and it's changed millions of lives, and people that I respect, people who are truly happy and successful and wealthy and rich from the inside out. Not just, it's just real authentic people that I admire get this book. Let's just put it that way. And so what was your original question?
What has this role taught you about those 3 things: power, presence, and patience?
Yeah, that's patience, learning, just having patience with the process. Power, God, the power of who we are, the power of our mind. Oh my God, the power of our mind. And did you say persistence?
Presence.
Oh, presence. Yeah, showing up, being present, even when I want to clock out or take a break. It's like, yeah, I'll do that. But showing up, being present, like being alert and awake, not just reading through it or it's like really showing up, because people need this. I always say, this is a matter of life and death. And it could be like, oh, Karla, you're dramatic. It's no, like it was for me, quite literally, physically, through my addiction, a matter of life and death. And then now that I'm physically sober, it's a mental game. It's always been a mental game. That's why it was a mental reason why we're addicted to anything. So now I'm really dealing with the root issue that we all deal with. Your personal development, your journey in life, your mindset, it is a matter of life and death. And I will die on that hill. That's how serious this is. People are dying out there, especially being a mental health care professional. It's like people are actually dying. People are really dying. Sure. And it ain't funny. And it's a truth that we don't want to hear. But every day I remind myself, like, It's serious. It's serious.
This is serious. This is for real.
Yeah.
Now, in this era of rapid change, things we know evolve and change so quickly now. What timeless truth from Napoleon Hill's work do you believe will always hold power no matter how the world evolves?
Thoughts become things. It's the first chapter. And Earl Nightingale, in his Strangest Secret, which was a condensed version of Think and Grow Rich, is you become what you think about. Every great leader could disagree on everything else they say. They agree on one thing. You become what you think about. Thoughts are truly things. They are an energetic, creative force. And when you take accountability and responsibility for that, which is not easy, you will live a completely different life. Thoughts are things.
Like you said, the power of our minds is unbelievable.
It is. It created this universe.
Just wild. Absolutely wild. What would you say is one of the greatest internal shifts that you've witnessed within yourself since joining the Napoleon Hill Institute?
Ooh, internal shifts. Confidence. Biggest internal shift. Yeah, confidence in myself and the power of auto-suggestion of my mental diet, how I talk to myself. That's one of my favorite chapters and principles. Auto-suggestion, which is just a suggestion from yourself to yourself. We are suggesting to ourselves all the time. So the most powerful shift is how I talk to myself.
That self-talk, again, that ties into the self-awareness piece, being aware that you're speaking shitty to yourself or speaking poorly to yourself and having the wherewithal to realize it and then do what you need to do in order to shift that and change that conversation.
Yeah.
If you could rewrite or expand on one of Napoleon's foundational principles through a feminine lens, which one would it be and how would you reimagine it?
Oh my goodness. You know what? We've done this. There's actually a women's division coming. There's a women's division being launched. And we use ChatGPT a lot. How would you rewrite these principles to a feminine lens, right? Maybe faith or the sixth sense, the subconscious mind, like the receptive, the feminine receptive, receiving, or even the brain. They talk about the broadcasting system. Just understanding that we have both masculine and feminine energies within all of us, however we express, and to really understand the feminine nature of receptivity, of just receiving and allowing, because a lot of people, which they do, and I don't blame them, get a very masculine. On the surface, you think that Think and Grow Rich is about, I thought it was for rich white men entrepreneurs, and it has nothing to do with me. Very masculine energy, very do.
Yeah.
Napoleon Hill was such a feminine receptive soul. Such a sweet soul. He was a prolific writer, and a lot of people don't understand that about him, and nor did they want to hear it, especially in his time. I would encourage everybody to look up Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks does not talk about a lot of books, but Esther Hicks, her husband Hicks was a huge Napoleon Hill fan. He taught those principles to businessmen forever. And Esther Hicks and Abraham channeled Napoleon. And it was one of the only authors, I don't know how many authors, but I think one of two, and channeled Napoleon and said, Napoleon, what would you tell people today? And he said, I would tell people where I was really getting this material from, because I would have been put in a straitjacket if they knew back in the day. And so just the very feminine, receptive power that we have and that we don't always have to do.
Be more about being.
Yeah.
How do you personally define riches now? And how has that definition evolved through the work you do?
Yeah. I think everybody, when we hear riches, we think gold bars and money.
Yep.
But as I continued down the pathway and the rabbit hole of Napoleon Hill, he has what he calls the 12 riches of life. And monetary riches, money, is the last one he lists. The first one is richness in sound health, richness in harmony in relationships, richness in PMA, positive mental attitude. There are different riches, and I would describe riches as being solid.
Yeah.
Are you rich? Are you solid when it comes to your health? Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. Are you solid and rich when it comes to your relationships? Are you solid and rich when it comes to your finances? Rich means solid. Like we say that with food. It's, that's rich.
Yes.
That's full. And so the best analogy is, at least when I grew up, Easter, they had those bunnies, those chocolate bunnies.
Yes,
and
the solid bunnies.
That here, it was hollow or it was solid.
Yeah.
Solid bunny, you're like, That's rich. That's rich. And
Yeah.
so most people are hollow bunnies.
Mm.
It's just a facade. You bite into that ear and there's nothing inside.
That's a very
you
interesting
breathe and
analogy.
eat, that's rich to me. Are you a solid bunny?
Are you hollow? I love it. That is amazing. My grandfather's always used to say to me, he says, if you don't have your health, all the money in the world is of no use to you. It's of no good.
Yeah.
You need your health is the most important piece. You have to have your health because the wealth means nothing.
Exactly.
If you could tattoo one truth on the soul of every woman you meet, what would that truth be?
Oh God, the truth. I want to say know thyself, but I don't know if that's a truth or like an advice. The truth. You are the creator of it all. You are the creator of it all. Truly. And I know that, again, it sounds trite and like cliche, but it's the dang truth. You're the creator of it all.
Karla, what do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I would say reflecting people back. And this is where, if you know about human design, y'all, I don't know if you and I talked about it, but human design is a personality. It's like a self-discovery tool, a little esoteric, a little mystical, a little science-based. But my unique gift is reflecting people back, just being that space, being the mirror to them. And it's not cute. So I know that my superpower is reflecting people back, being objective, even to family. And it's nothing that I do. It's just who I am. It's just my energy. It's how I was born. And that was validated when I explored my own human design chart. And so I know when people, and I do this too, we all do this, when you avoid certain people, it's when you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, or like you are trying to hide something, or you're not happy because other people reflect you. And so I have just always been that presence. When people are living their best life, when they're around me, they love me. When they are not, they hate me. And it's just a gift. So reflecting people back and helping people with direction. That's also something that I uncovered in human design too. Like we all have a life purpose or a life theme. And mine is showing people direction, literally helping them. It's like a compass. I can be a compass for people. It just comes very naturally.
Love it. Now, speaking of success, what does that word mean to you? How do you define the word success?
Ooh, feeling at peace. Inner peace, baby.
All right. Now, what does the word empowerment mean to you?
Ooh, okay. So I did a workshop called the Embodiment of Success Principles to embody. And I love to look up words. So the word empowerment. M means to put in or to put on. Empower, to put in or put on power. To put in and put on and accept your power. To empower someone is to put in or to put on power to that person. To empower myself is to think empowering thoughts, to put in and to put on power. And so to empower means, to break it up literally, what the word means is to put in or to put on, whatever it is, like embrace, embed, empower, embody, put in or to put on in your body, whatever it is. So empower means to just bathe, put on, put in power, powerful thoughts, powerful emotions, powerful words. It's empower yourself and empower others by putting in and putting on powerful words, narratives, behavior.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section. So the next grouping of questions just be 1, 2, 3 word answer type thing. How would you describe yourself in one word?
Inclusive.
What is your favorite self-care practice?
Tapping, EFT tapping.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Know thyself. Like study yourself. Like you're the creator.
What is one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
Being in a Marvel movie.
And what would your superhero be? Who would you be?
Oh my God.
We might as well go there. I got to ask.
Oh my God. You know what? I don't know. I have a whole, I don't even know. I think this is a project, but I love Marvel comic movies. I love it. I don't even know. I don't know. The Marvel world is endless, but you know what? If I ever had a superpower, I would want to speak every language.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask you next is what would your superpower be? If you could be remembered for one thing, what would that one thing be?
Oh, wow. Helping people love themselves. Helping people love themselves. Like truly accept themselves.
Okay. What is one thing that you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
I love my passion, incessant obsession to learn. like the student in me. I'm just a very passionate student.
What is one word that defines the woman you are becoming?
One word that defines unstoppable.
I love that. That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I created a bonus question for you. I did not send to you ahead of time. Karla, if you could take one feeling or one belief and bottle it up and give it to people, what would it be?
Peace.
Okay. If you could have any 3 people in the world, alive or dead, sitting at your dinner table with you for dinner, who would those 3 people be? Why? And what would you serve for dinner?
Okay. Jesus. I would have Jesus. Jesus. And this is so wild. This is a random table. You know who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Elsie Lincoln Benedict. She was a female author. She wrote the book, How to Get Anything You Want. And I am her soulmate. I love her so much. After reading her book, I'm like, girl, was that you in a past life? I would want them. Why? Jesus, because I believe that he was the embodiment of absolute forgiveness and mastery of the mind. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., because I feel like I read a lot of his letters and I have a lot of his books, writings and speeches, and especially just being an American and growing up and especially with our environment, how did he do it? Like nonviolent. And I know he wasn't perfect, but like that documentary, what was it? In the Wilderness, King in the Wilderness or something. It was on HBO. Anyways, his work just with humanity and with being an American citizen has always inspired me, and I would want to talk to him about that. And then Elsie Lincoln Benedict, she had such faith. She had such faith and conviction, and she was funny. And I would just be like, girl, how? Tell me, what would I serve? Some Mediterranean food, be a little smorgasbord.
All right. If you could step into my shoes, what is the one question you would ask yourself that I didn't ask you?
What are you afraid of?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm afraid that, again, that I will not, what am I afraid of? If you ask me that, I'd be like, what am I afraid of? That I won't have peace, like that my mind, I know that there's different ways, because I'm always growing, that I will understand and relate to the world and cope, but that I will experience something that just knocks me off and just puts me in a deep hole. Like that's a fear, but yeah.
Okay. If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
I would say Elsie Lincoln Benedict. I would love to have a 1-hour conversation with her.
Okay. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Girl, don't drink. Girl, don't drink.
All right. Lastly, Karla, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your corner of the world, your tribe, your people, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
Study yourself, take full responsibility, full accountability. It's you and you. Your thoughts create your life. You are the creator of it all. And I would say that over and over again for 30 seconds to like, even like it all starts with the mind. Like you're creating it all. You're creating it all. You're creating it all. You're creating it all.
Beautiful. Karla, thank you so much for this incredibly powerful, beautiful, inspirational, fun conversation. It was an absolute pleasure and honor having you on the show. I appreciate you taking and making the time to be here with me today. I am grateful to have had this opportunity to have you as a member of the Empowerography community and to be able to call you a friend. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and insights and story.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Karla Elizondo. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist, a mindset coach, and a principal teacher and global certified coach for the Napoleon Hill Institute. Thank you so much, Karla. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca, follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast, and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.